An absolutely insane day in the UEFA Nations League quarterfinal. Boy, did we have fun watching these. 3 of these 4 matches go to extra time, 2 end in penalties. And even in the one that didn't make it to extra time, Germany versus Italy, that was one that went down to the wire in the end because of a furious comeback by Italy. So boy, do we have a lot to unpack. France advance, Germany advance, Portugal and Spain, and here we see the semifinals. The matchups coming your way on June 4th and 5th. Germany versus Portugal, Spain versus France. And if those semifinal matchups are anything like what we just saw in this afternoon's action, we're going to be in for a treat in the semifinals in the summer. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Nate Bukaty alongside Stefano Fusaro. And this was one of those days where you're watching all of this action back and forth, goals, leads blown, penalties. I mean, this had just about everything.
A little bit of everything. You like goals. This was the day to sit down and be able to watch everything. But you're seeing just high-quality football with high-quality players playing for their country. It's difficult to really simulate what this could be like if you're not just watching and watching all of this action in real time, but just fantastic stuff all around Europe today.
Okay, let's start with Italy taking on Germany, and they actually end up staging a furious comeback in this match. Italy had a chance only with a couple of minutes of stoppage time left to try to equalize things and send it to extra time, but early on, it was disastrous for Italy. And maybe the most notable thing that we saw out of this was a complete mental error by their goalkeeper, Donnarumma, on a ball that goes behind for a corner kick. He comes walking off of his line to talk to the referee, and the German side spots it. Kimmich puts a ball in, and it's an easy tap in for a goal. And at that point in time, you're thinking, this is absolute shambles for Italy.
Yeah, if you remember the Champions League semifinal with Liverpool and Barcelona, corner taken quickly, that's exactly what Germany just did to Italy early on in this match. And ultimately, that proves to be the difference, right? They only failed to qualify by 1 goal. It's a 5-4 aggregate score. So it's difficult for Spalletti's side to deal with it, but it really was probably one of the worst 45 minutes, that first half for Italy, that we've seen Italy play in quite some time. Just not up to par, absolutely getting run over by this German side. Obviously, Germany playing at home. So it was a very difficult 45 minutes. It's almost like Spalletti's side just didn't show up until the second half, when then they start to scoring and start getting with it and almost staging a furious comeback. But it was just too little too late, and just a very poorly organized Italian side in that first half. That was just, you kind of didn't understand where this was coming from. They looked decent in the first leg, and then coming into this leg, it really, you expected a little bit more of that, rush to get up and get early and score a goal early on Germany. It just didn't happen that way.
That's what made the closeout by Italy to make themselves a part of the match so interesting, because at one point in time, we're sitting here talking about the future of Spalletti, you and
right.
I, because this is not what we're used to seeing from Italy. Even if they don't have the most talented roster, typically you see a side that is difficult to break down, that makes things hard on their opponent. We didn't see that early in the match, but we did see the comeback. Does that do anything to change the way you look at Spalletti and this Italian side right now? Or is it just, hey, nice effort, but too little too late?
I mean, ultimately, if you look at this side, I still would have said, okay, Germany's probably going to come out on top. They just have a better side, a better structure, and just that, those couple of players that are just that world class, a little bit step above what the Italians have. I don't know if the answer is this is the end of Spalletti. I don't know. I know that the pressure will be on him from the Italian media without a doubt. I don't know how much it can change things. They have a team that has the talent. Their team is their team. And sure, some new ideas could help, but I don't know if that's going to fix all of Italy's problems.
A thought on Germany right now. Kimmich was very good in this match, had a goal on the penalty and also a wonderful assist. We know the quality of Musiala, but outside of that, you and I were kind of going down the roster. Is this Germany's side, from a quality standpoint, capable of going toe-to-toe with the other sides that we are seeing in the semifinals now?
I think they can because of the style of football they play, how organized they are at the back, and how they can really build and have a player like Musiala and Sané that can beat anybody off the dribble, can be use their pace along those wings. They wouldn't be my favorite, but I still think that this is a side that has enough world-class players that can get the job done and be as organized a team of the ones that are left, of all these teams that are left, they might be the best organized side as far as the way that they attack together, the way that they defend together. So I do believe that they can compete. I don't think they're the most talented side left, but I do believe that they have enough to be able to grind out wins against even teams that have more talent.
Okay, let's move on to what for me was the match of the day. Spain versus the Netherlands.
Incredible stuff.
Back and forth. There were goals in regulation. We had extra time drama. And then the penalty shootout was a microcosm of the tie itself, in which each side feels like at one point in time they're going to be in a great spot. Lamine Yamal, who has this incredible goal late in the match, ends up having what was really a brutal-looking penalty that got saved. But Spain advances. What did you make of it?
What a tie this was. Remember, the first leg was 2-2. Then we finished these 90 minutes today at 2-2 as well. So 4-4 going on aggregate. Each team scores a goal in extra time to make it 5-5 on aggregate going into the penalty kick shootout. This Spain team is special. And Netherlands, shout out to them because, again, they do an incredible job to fight to the very end against a team, in my opinion, that is just more talented than they are for Netherlands. But Spain, it is incredible. Lamine Yamal scores the goal in extra time that gives them that 5-4 advantage on aggregate. And then goes up to the penalty shootout. You're feeling good about him. Obviously, we all are after seeing what he can do on the pitch. But a penalties, I guess that would be the one spot that we really haven't seen Lamine Yamal too much. He doesn't take penalties for Barcelona. And maybe we know why, because it was not a good take there. But still, Unai Simon comes up massive again in the penalty shootout for Spain and does just enough to get them over the line. This Spain team, though, I do believe that we're witnessing, they're already the European champions. I do believe that we're witnessing something very special with this Spain side that's going to continue to grow and continue to be a thorn in the side of all of the other European nations right now, because the talent, I think, is unmatched.
Yeah, it's young. They're dynamic. You're seeing Olafabo comes in and scores a brace in this match. He gets replaced by Ferran Torres in the course of the match. It's an embarrassment of riches in the attack for the Spanish side. But I do think questions need to be asked, because a couple of different times they obviously showed they were not able to hold on to a lead in this match.
Yeah, and again, I think that's going to be part of their DNA a little bit. They're such a young team, and they're still going to... It very is similar to the way Barcelona play. Barcelona plays free of pressure. They do allow goals. They know that they can score goals. This Spain team kind of taking on that DNA just a little bit. I'm sure that they don't want to be in those type of situations anymore. They are going to have to shore things up at the back, though. They are going to have to play a little bit more compact, be a little bit better defending these teams in Europe that obviously have so much power and so much attacking force, so it'll be difficult to stop. But they do have to bring it together, and look, in their next match against France, they will be tested against what is also an incredible attack in the French.
Yeah, I feel like that should be the final, France versus Spain in this one, but that's not the way the bracket shakes out. So let's move on to France versus Croatia, runner-up for match of the day. Croatia comes in with a 2-goal advantage in the tie. They were holding steady, and finally, France gets the breakthrough in the second half. They get the second goal, the equalizer, with about 10 minutes or so to spare. And you said, I think Croatia is going to hold on here and get this thing to extra time. I said, I think there's going to be a third goal coming from France. Credit to Croatia. Yeah. They held tight all the way into penalties, but couldn't get it done in PKs. Yeah,
I mean, look at this side. I mean, like we talked about embarrassment of riches. Look at this French side. I mean, the talent is incredible. And the only reason that I say that maybe Spain has a little edge on this team is because this team has been together now for quite some time. Have some younger players, obviously, in the mix with Barcola and with Olise and Kone. They seem to sometimes play down to their competition. No knock on Croatia. Croatia now has been doing this for quite some time. We've seen them in World Cup finals and World Cup semifinals and in European competitions, and they've been incredible to watch. But this French side is definitely better on paper and definitely better with the results that we've seen. So that's why that first leg being down 2-0 in Croatia, I was like, wow, this is massive. And I've seen this from France before, where they play down to competition. They kind of take it easy. They don't force themselves into the game and take over like they should with that side that they have. But ultimately, they find a way to get it done at home in front of their fans. They have their absolutely stacked attack, and they're able to just get it across the line. They will need to be better to beat Spain. I will say that. They will need to be on their game to be able to control that match against a side in Spain that will not feel that pressure and will definitely be waiting for them to come attack so they can go on the counter using their speed.
I mean, but you talk about the attack of Spain and these attacking players for France. Elise gets a goal in this one. Dembele gets the equalizer. Dembele's, I mean, he's continuing to build his case as a candidate for Ballon d'Or this year, is he not?
I mean, he's been, yeah. I mean, I think now it's, in all competitions, if I have my math right, I think it's 24 goals since January 1st of 2025.
And big goals.
And big goals in the Champions League and League On and now for his national team. I mean, the guy's been incredible, and he's doing it again and again and again. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a shout. I think it's a shout for Ballon d'Or just because he's been so good on a team in PSG that many are even saying maybe the best club team in the world right now as we sit today. So Dembele again leading the line. But again, I mean, you look at that team. I mean, it's Dembele, it's Barcola, it's Mbappe. I mean, you just have, like I said, that attack is something else.
Okay, also, we had a match that goes to extra time. It ends up getting decided by a couple of goals. Portugal getting things done against Denmark. Cristiano Ronaldo had a big goal in this match, but after he came out, Portugal scored 3 more goals. They had to do it in extra time, but they did get the job done against the very game Denmark side that came back a couple of times in this one.
Yeah, this Portugal team, I can never get a read on them, right? I don't know whether Cristiano Ronaldo gets a big goal in this game. Obviously, we know Leao and Conceição and the talent that they have. Bruno Fernandes in the midfield with Vitinha is such a solid squad. I can't ever kind of pick out what this team is going to be, though. I feel like it is you're a little bit inconsistent. You don't know whether it's going to be a side that can come out and dominate a match 4-0 or allow some goals, and maybe you don't expect them to allow. I mean, losing the first leg against Denmark, not exactly what you'd expect for Portugal, but they come back, they do enough, and they get a goal from Ronaldo. I'm not really convinced if this team is better with Ronaldo or without Ronaldo. I'm really not sure about that yet, but he gets his goal today to shut me up, so I think you have to look at that way as well.
Well, Ramos, who came in for him, scored a goal in stoppage time, and if you want to put it that way, they scored 2 goals with Ronaldo on the pitch. They scored 3 with him off the pitch. Now, the game got stretched by the end. Maybe you're looking at a tired Denmark side at that point in time. And also, at the end, a goal gets scored because they're putting numbers forward, trying to get the equalizer. So it's not exactly an apples to apples. But you're talking about a couple of guys that come in that are in their mid-20s.
Right.
Cristiano Ronaldo, he got the goal. I mean, he got the goal. He missed a penalty in this match as well, had one saved, had another goal chalked off for offside. So I think it's just a fascinating question right now. Are they better with him or without him on the pitch? And is anybody going to actually have the guts to tell him he's sitting, though? That's the bigger question, I guess.
No shot. No shot anybody has the guts to say that. And look, this is going to it'll get a lot of run, and it'll get a lot of people arguing about whether, we believe, Ronaldo should be on this team or whether he shouldn't. The case in point is he is still a leader on this team. He is still a leader to amongst the fans, and for this team, his presence is still extremely important. And he got a big goal today. And Portugal go through a little more stressful than I think that they imagined that this tie would be against Denmark. Credit to Denmark for absolutely taking it to them and not giving up, even when giving up the goals in this leg today. They're still able to fight to the very end. But Portugal, I think rightly so, advances.
On to the semifinals. They will take on Germany. I think that's a pretty even matchup right there as we lay it out for you. Germany, Portugal, Spain, France in the semifinals coming up on June 4th and 5th. Should be 2 outstanding matchups in the 2024-2025 UEFA Nations League semifinals.